So what's up guys, AppleNow here, and in this video I will be showing you guys that, as you know, today was Apple's keynote for September 2017. So they introduced much of their devices. So let's get started without any further ado. As you know that I will be covering this in just 3 minutes. So Apple started their keynote by sharing the information against or of the Apple's new park and the latest Steve Jobs theater, as well as they took it by releasing the latest Apple Watch, which is Series 3, and it is much more thinner, lighter, as well as more efficient, and it is much better than the previous one. It has LTE capabilities, and this is the Apple Watch 3, and it will be starting from the price of $329 all the way up to the $399 as the cheapest of the LTEs and without LTEs option. Apple will be keeping their Series 1 to of only $249. So and then they move on to the Apple TV, which had 4K as well as HDR, and it now supports much better latest movies, TV shows, and it is having the iPads Pro chip, which is A10X, and it is much faster than before. It can handle much better games, as well as it is the best Apple TV ever announced. So let's move on to the biggest release, and I know that we all are excited for the latest and the greatest iPhone 8, 8 Plus, as well as the iPhone X. So Apple has introduced the iPhone 8 with a glass back design, has a wireless charging, it is much faster than before. Design is almost same as the previous generations. It has a lot improved cameras. It now supports 4K at HD 60 frames per second, as well as it has portrait mode, which is much better than the previous one, and it has portrait lighting mode, which is exclusively available on only to the iPhone 8 Plus and the iPhone X users. So it was the greatest, and Apple have shifted their baseline storage from 32 gigabytes all the way up to the 64, and there are only two storage options for all three devices. And lastly, it was much faster, and it has ARKit and many other things that you will find online when you watch this keynote. So lastly, Apple introduced the iPhone X, which has the bezel-less display, as well as it is lacking Touch ID. However, it is having the best Apple security system ever announced, which is Face ID. It is much more secure, much more faster. But personally, I do recommend Touch ID, as you have a physical touch, as well as it is very less likely to be gimmick. So Face ID might be a gimmick, but I have to try it before I say anything else. iPhone X has a OLED display, which is having 438 ppi, so it is the most resolutionary display Apple have ever released. So Apple doesn't tell anybody about the resolutions of the 4.7-inch display, but I think it is 1080, but I'm not sure. Other than that, it is much better. So I love how Apple introduced the iPhone X, and I'm surprised at how much was it leaked. It was also leaked, which made me surprised or shocking too, that Apple will be announcing iPhone X by saying one more thing. Last but not the least, I will be thanking you guys if you watched this video, because it would take a lot to me to make this kind of videos. I would really appreciate if you subscribe my channel for more videos like this. If you like it, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe button, because that would help me a lot. I would really appreciate you watching my video, and please consider watching my other videos too. Thanks.